This is my honest advice about how IT careers actually work. You can get to six figures by simply building the right proof and knowing the right people. And I know it's going to sound like some guru teacher BS type stuff, but let me show you how I know this to be true. My name is Damon Jones, and I have almost 20 years in IT. I got my first certification about 3 years ago, and my degree is actually in web design, and I make six figures. And every single job that I ever had came from someone picking up the phone and making a call on my behalf. And if I'm being honest with you, it's a shock to me too when I think about it because I didn't plan it this way. And I realized that the same thing kept happening to me every single time that I moved up, and I just became more intentional about it. So, if you feel like you're not where you want to be and you're not really sure about what your next step is going to look like, just know that you're not alone. And you're probably just solving for the wrong problem. Check it out. I want to show you three things in this video. What actually got me hired every single time, what most techs are doing instead of that, and what that difference is actually costing you. Because there is a cost associated with it, believe it or not. And this is not something that I made up or some theory that I'm speaking to. This is my actual career journey. So let's get started. How important are certifications? And here's my honest answer. Like I said, I've been in IT for about 20 years now, and I got my first one just a few years ago. So if I had to prioritize the focus, certifications would still be last. And that's not because they don't matter, right? But because there are two other areas that carry more weight, and most techs just never really build on either of those. Now, before you close the video, hear me out. Certifications matter. Like, for instance, if you're going into a new role and you're not that familiar with it, get the certification. Like, learn what you don't know. Pick up on the new terminology or whatever lingo is. And that will help you to tell better stories. And the second place would be if it's role specific. Like, if the job requires you to get the certification, get the certification. But where most techs go wrong is typically they're just getting it just to say that they have it. And they put it on their resume and then they wait for something magical to happen that never happens. So to me, like, if you're not getting callbacks, it's probably not because of a cert. Like, again, if the role required it, like, look at it from this perspective. They don't want to waste time any more than you do. So if the role requires it, they will put it into the job description. So you're probably wondering, if the certification alone doesn't get you hired, then what does? Getting hired equals the right proof times the right relationship. It's what you can show times who is willing to talk about it. Let me explain. I applied for my first IT job on a job board back in the day. I believe it was monster.com. And when I applied, I made it all the way to the hiring manager, right? And I didn't get it. Now, fast forward about a year later, the conversation comes up, and I'm talking to my girlfriend at the time. I'm talking to her father, and we're in there. We're having a conversation about computers, and through that, he realized that not only was I good with my way around computers, but I also had a passion for it. So he asked me, if I could get you an interview, would you take it? And I'm like, of course. And So he made a phone call. Now, mind you, I didn't know where dude worked. Like I didn't, I was just dating his daughter and I didn't really know about him in that way. But what he did for me was amazing. He picked up the phone and he made a call to the company he was working at, which was NCR. Coincidence, it's the same place that I applied to a year ago and didn't get it. And when I got there for the interview, lo and behold, it's the same dude who interviewed me a year ago. Like, he didn't remember me, but I remembered him. So fast forward, we're talking about the same job, the same interviewer, the same resume, because I didn't change anything there, and the same me. Like, I didn't have any new experience or anything. And I got hired. Nothing else changed except for that phone call. Now, that was showing you what social proof can do for you. I worked at NCR for 7 years before getting laid off. And when they let me go, they gave me a career coach as a part of the severance package. And for that month, that was one of the best things that ever happened to me career-wise. Because we worked together and like we were sending my resume back and forth. We were on the phone. We were doing role plays, going through the interview process and just talking through how to tell my career story. And little did I know at the time, but I was building what I would later call narrative proof, which is the stories that you tell to show your impact at a job. Now, during that month, after the layoff, I hit my best friend up. And he had been trying to get me to come work with him since my first day of working at NCR. And the moment he found out I got laid off, he didn't wait. He was like, yo, bruh, I got you. And he made the phone call. This phone call was worth $33,000 more than what I was making at NCR. I say all of that to say this. This is what I wish someone had told me earlier in my career. And that is, not all proof is made equal. And there are 3 types, right? This is what I teach. And they all do something different. The first one is social proof. That is going to be like your accelerator. That is when the right person says your name, that can put you into a room or rooms that you haven't even earned the privilege to be in. You're there on their behalf. And basically what happens is their credibility transfers over to you instantly. Like, think about that for a second. One call from the right person can do for you what years of experience can't. And every single job that I had came from this in some way, shape, form, or fashion. The next proof is your narrative proof. This is not just the experience that you have, but it's knowing how to translate that experience into job impact. It lets the hiring manager and the recruiter know how impactful you were at your job. Now, again, is not what you did, but what it meant to the role, the company, your position. And it also gives your social proof something real to stand on. Last is your paper proof. That's going to be your awards, your degrees, just anything that is on paper that backs up your story. And typically it will get you past the filter if there is one. But more importantly, you need to understand why you're getting that piece of paper. Because far too often in IT, I see where techs put all their weight on the certifications and then they wonder why nothing moves. And like I said, just being real, I got my ITIL a few years ago And that was only after my manager told me that it would be a good look for the position. Like there was a position that was opening up and they were basically saying, yo, like you probably want to go out and get this. And think about it like this. Everything that I'm telling you shows you the order, because even here, there was a relationship there for them to look at me and say, hey, go out and get this. Because they didn't have to do that, right? They didn't have to say anything. But yet they gave me a heads up to go, hey, for what you're doing and those who are going to be on this panel interviewing, it would behoove you to go out and get this ITIL certification. And that's what I did. And that just showed me the impact of the order of proof. And again, most techs have this whole thing backwards. Like they lead with paper and then they never build on the other two. And then they wonder why the phone never rings. But what I've seen is myself and those who move with intention about building the proof, are like building the proof the right way, are the ones with the amazing careers. And that is exactly what Beyond the Helpdesk teaches you to do. It's not just you working hard, because you working hard is not going to be the thing that drives your career. Building the right proof in the right order will. And that is what the game is. And if that hits you different, you're in the right place. Check us out. The link is in the description